The world of Formula One is no stranger to high stakes and high drama, and the launch of the 2023 cars was no exception. With each team hoping to gain an edge over their rivals, the designs and technologies on display were nothing short of breathtaking. What changes did the top F1 teams make to their 2023 cars? Stay tuned to find out. Let's begin with the Italian giant Ferrari. On Valentine's Day, Ferrari revealed their new red and black car. This car looks like a serious contender for the top spot on the podium. While the car may bear a striking resemblance to last year's model, there are some key upgrades under the hood that could make all the difference in this year's championship race. Last season, Ferrari's biggest obstacle was the reliability of their power unit. But after undertaking a long project to make the ERSH system more robust, the team is confident that the power unit can now be safely run in a more aggressive manner. And when this engine is firing on all cylinders, it's the most potent unit on the grid. Of course, it's not just about the power unit. Ferrari has also made tweaks to the chassis in the hopes of giving their cars the edge it needs to challenge Red Bull when the season commences. And with a car that set 12 pole positions last year, 4 more than the championship-winning Red Bull, it's clear that Ferrari has the speed to make a serious run at the title. Head of chassis area Enrico Cardile, as he outlined the changes, our 2023 car is an evolution of the one we raced last year, but in reality, it has been completely redesigned. On the aerodynamic side, we increased vertical downforce to adapt further to the new aero regulations and achieve the desired balance characteristics. The suspension has also been redesigned to support aerodynamics and increase the range of adjustments that can be made to the car at the track. The most obvious changes are in the area of the front suspension, where we have moved to a low track rod. The front wing is also different, as is the construction of the nose, while the bodywork is a more extreme version of what we saw last season. One of the most striking features is the front lower corner of the side pods, which has been scalloped away. This design change suggests the team has moved some of the radiator areas higher up around the car's shoulder, a common tactic used by many other teams. But it's the small details that make all the difference, and the bodywork where the engine cover and side pod tops merge behind the cockpit remains extensively louvered, providing an exciting visual element to the design. The car's bathtub contours at the top of the side pods have been retained, with a sunken depression aiding the air extraction and channeling it towards the rear beam wing. This design feature is important for optimizing aerodynamic efficiency and will undoubtedly give Ferrari an advantage on the track. Also, the nose of the car has been slightly flattened out, and the front wing features slot gap separators angled to create vortices, which will help accelerate the airflow toward the floor inlets at the bottom of the side pods. This feature was also used by Mercedes last year, but the FIA declared it not in conformity with the regulations. Ferrari's more subtle interpretation of the same idea may be deemed acceptable, but only time will tell. Overall, the 2023 Ferrari car is an exciting development for the team and for Formula One fans. With its sleek design and aerodynamic improvements, it's sure to give the other teams a run for their money on the track. Now let's talk about last year's champions, Red Bull. But before we do that, if you're enjoying this video, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe. Thanks. Red Bull's RB19 has been revealed at the pre-season testing, and it looks like a beast of a car. With its aggressive design and innovative features, this car is already being hailed as the favorite for this year's championship. While the RB19 is based on the highly successful RB18, the team has made a number of changes to optimize its performance. The most striking of these changes is the new, highly extreme side pods, which have set a new standard for F1 design. These side pods feature a dramatic undercut that is so extreme that it has strayed into the realm of twin-floor territory. The design concept was first introduced in the ill-fated 1992 Ferrari F92A, which had a long straight channel under the side pods. The concept was later revisited by Toro Rosso on their 2011 car, but neither car was particularly successful. However, Red Bull seems to have found a way to make the concept work for them, and the RB19 is already turning heads in the F1 world. This car will surely be a force to be reckoned with in the upcoming season. The larger undercut increases the mass airflow going down the sides of the body towards the gap between the rear wheels, and it's that flow which draws upon the diffusers and makes the underbody work harder. But it's not just the size of the side pods that makes them so impressive. It's also the well-crafted aero shape that builds on last year's design. The team has also reduced the size and modified the cooling package to create even more compact side pods, making the RB19 even more aerodynamically efficient than its predecessor. Further rearward, the downwash ramp at the rear of the side pod is more aggressive, adding to the car's overall refinement. All of these subtle changes add up to a car that is a true evolution of last year's model, and Red Bull is poised to continue their winning ways in the upcoming season. It's clear that Red Bull is playing the smart move with their 2023 car design, refining and improving on their already successful models. rather than making dramatic changes. And with 17 wins out of 22 races last year, it's hard to argue with their approach. Time to talk about the team car that has got everybody talking, the Mercedes W14. Revving up for a fresh start after a difficult season, Mercedes unveiled their latest speed machine, the F1 W14. But don't let its similarities to its predecessor fool you, as this sleek beast has been finely tuned to overcome the challenges that plagued the W13. With a keen eye on maintaining the good bits of last year's design, the W14 boasts exceptional high-speed downforce, allowing for lightning-fast turns and hair-raising accelerations. However, Mercedes has taken things a step further by addressing the problematic bouncing and porpoising that held back the W13's full potential. While the W14 retains many of the unique features of its predecessor, such as the narrow vertical inlets for the radiators and the exposed upper cis bar, there are some exciting new additions to the design. The lower side pod contours have been expertly smoothed out, giving the car a more streamlined profile that cuts through the air like a hot knife through butter. And speaking of cooling, the W14 features a high cooling cannon that expertly carries expelled air from the radiators and exited out the back, allowing for more efficient airflow and reducing the need for bulky cooling louvers. But don't be fooled by its sleek exterior, as the option to introduce louvers for hotter races remains. Technical director Mike Elliott said, "Last year, there were times when we were questioning ourselves and asking, have we made a major mistake? Do we need to change what we are fundamentally doing? But if you tear it all up and start again, you're going to start further back than where you are. It's better to take the car you've got and build on it." Although we had a lot of problems with the car last year, there was also a lot of goodness in the car. There were things it did well. You have to be careful not to throw those things away by starting again. Team boss Toto Wolff underlined these thoughts. "We have analysed it back and forth, and as you can see, the side pods are still very different to any other car. We believe this is not a performance relative part. Obviously, there is no such thing as a holy cow. We are looking at everything. These are the first iteration of the side pods, and after a few races, they will probably change a little. But as Mike says, if you change a concept, you can end up going 3 steps backward to take 2 forwards. I love the fact that we stayed bold and continued to follow what the science says for us. So there has been no switch to the more classic Red Bull bodywork geometry, which most teams are now following, nor to the Ferraris. Instead, Mercedes is sticking to their guns with their unique approach to ground effect regulations. But that doesn't mean they're resting on their laurels. They've made significant mechanical changes, including a completely new rear suspension designed to give the car a bigger range of suspension travel. This is no small feat, as last year's car was plagued by bouncing and porpoising, caused in part by the need for super stiff suspension settings to stabilize the aerodynamic platform. But Mercedes is confident that these changes will get them out of the corner they've boxed themselves into and unleash the true potential of their distinctive aerodynamic concept. And let's not forget that Mercedes is no stranger to success. They've dominated the F1 scene in recent years, and this new car is poised to continue that trend. What's your thought about the upgrades that these teams have made to their 2023 car? Let us know in the comment section below. That will be all for today's video. Thanks for staying tuned. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and notification bell so you can always get to watch more amazing videos like this. See you in the next video.